The train thundered endlessly through the darkness, its iron body trembling against sleepless tracks. Inside the overcrowded compartment, human exhaustion breathed from every corner. Sweat, wet clothes, cheap tobacco, boiled rice packed inside old newspaper. The smells lingered heavily beneath the dim yellow lights. Near the doorway, Angad sat silently against the cold steel wall. The boy suddenly extended his arm towards Angad and said, "Jaggi, Jagirdar, my name." Angad held his palm. "Angad Narayan, that's my name." Outside, the night rushed past in fragments. Lonely station lamps, black rivers, villages swallowed immediately by darkness again. Beside him, Jagirdar continued speaking softly. The 16-year-old boy spoke about Kerala and about construction sites he had worked, about sleeping beside cement sacks during monsoon nights. His English was broken, yet strangely alive with warmth. Angad listened quietly. For the first time in many days, he was listening to another human being without wanting the conversation to end. Around them, laborers slept in impossible positions. Some sat upright, clutching bags against their chests. Some curled beneath seats like children hiding from storms. A tired woman fanned her sleeping child slowly with the edge of her sari. No one complained about discomfort anymore. Exhaustion had defeated dignity long ago. The train slowed briefly beside a nameless station wrapped in rain. Tea vendors climbed inside, shouting through steam and noise. Chai, garam chai. The smell of boiled tea drifted slowly through the compartment. Jagirdar bought one small cup and silently handed over to Angad. Angad hesitated, then accepted it quietly. The tea was watery, overly sweet, yet the warmth lingered strangely inside him. Near midnight, rain began striking the metal roof harder. Water leaked slowly through cracks above, dripping beside sleeping passengers too exhausted to move. A laborer sitting opposite opened a steel container quietly. Dry chapatis, a little pickle wrapped in plastic paper. Without speaking, the man extended one piece towards Angad. Instinctively, pride rose inside him. Then hunger answered faster. He accepted silently. The chapati was cold, hard, almost tasteless. Yet as he ate, something inside him softened unexpectedly. Not hope, not relief, something smaller. The feeling of existing beside other people again. Hours passed beneath the endless rhythm of steel and motion. Sometimes Jagirdar spoke endlessly. Sometimes both remained silent together. And strangely, the silence no longer suffocated him. Towards dawn, the compartment slowly returned to life. Bodies stretching painfully, children walking, vendors climbing inside once more with tea kettles and boiled peanuts. The first pale light entered carefully through dirty train windows. Flooded fields drifted endlessly outside. Morning mist hanging over silent waterlogged land. For the first time since Ashan's death, Angad's mind was not drowning entirely in memory. No temple walls, no fluorescent paints poisoning sacred colors, no unfinished mural waiting beneath silence. Only this train, only moment. Only strangers surviving another morning together. The journey continued for 3 endless days. Stations came and vanished. Faces changed constantly. Languages shifted around him like distant waves. And through it all, Jagirdar remained beside him, talking, laughing, sharing fragments of a life Angad had never truly understood before. At last, late in the afternoon of the 3rd day, the train screamed into Howrah station. Steam rose heavily above the crowded platforms, Porters shouted through chaos. Families embraced beneath flickering lights. Vendors dragged carts through impossible crowds. Kolkata breathed like an exhausted empire. Old, crowded, heavy with forgotten history. Angad stepped out slowly beside Jagirdar. For a moment, the scale of the city overwhelmed him completely. Jagirdar reached quietly into his pocket, then pressed two folded 100 rupee notes into Angad's hands. "You take." Angad looked at him immediately. "No!" But Jagirdar pushed the money back firmly. "You need now." The words landed somewhere deep inside him. Jagirdar searched inside his shirt pocket again, then took a pen and scribbled an address into a torn piece of paper. "Malayali broker. He sent workers Kerala. Maybe help you." Angad stared silently at the paper. Before leaving, Jagirdar embraced him tightly. Simple warmth offered without hesitation. Then the boy disappeared slowly into the endless crowd of Howrah station, leaving Angad alone once more. Outside the station, Kolkata unfolded beneath fading evening light. Colonial buildings blackened by age, tram wires trembling overhead, yellow taxis moving endlessly through crowded roads. Hunger twisted violently inside him now. He stopped beside a roadside stall. 2 puris, 1 cup of tea, nothing more. Then, carrying Jagidar's paper carefully inside his pocket, he began walking deeper into the city. For nearly an hour, he wandered through unfamiliar streets. The city smelled of rain, diesel smoke, history. At last he reached the broker's office. Locked. A rusted shutter staring back at him beneath the dim evening sky. Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. No one would return before Monday. For several moments, Angad simply stood there motionless. Then slowly he walked away once more into Kolkata's night. Hours later, after wandering endlessly through unfamiliar streets, he found a large pond hidden between old buildings. The stone steps descended quietly into dark, still water. The city noise felt distant there, almost unreal. Exhaustion finally defeated thought. Angad removed his clothes slowly, washing away days of sweat and dirt beside the silent pool with soap which was stuck on the steps of the pond. He then stepped into the deepest corner of the water. Coldness wrapped around his exhausted body gently. For the first time in many days, he felt weightless, as though grief itself had loosened beneath the dark water. Later, he sat silently, naked, upon the stone steps, waiting for his clothes to dry. Stray dogs wandered somewhere beyond the darkness. The city moved endlessly around him.
Where stories begin.